Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is your host, Luke Gradowski and Jason Burmis of WeAreChange.org for a new show that we have premiered today. Is it racist?
Okay, that's enough of that.
No, come on. We were supposed to go back to the kid and the music. The music was good. Come on. Give me 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. All that together. The Irish music. And come on. Let's go.
It's not Irish.
That could have been racist in itself, just an impression. But also, look, let's be serious here for just a little bit. Let's be serious. We like to have fun, and I think the best cure to all the bull crap that's going out there is laughter. And if there's anything that has worked more convincingly to divide people and make people hate each other, it, of course, is race. It's being played off against each other, against all of us, more than ever, especially in the media, with hyperbolic, insane stories that we're going to get into. And, of course, today make a determination if there actually was any racism. And that's why we're going to be talking about Kim Foxx, the prosecutor in the Jussie Smollett case. We're going to talk about Lucky Lee and Burger King. Now, Jason, there's a lot of news around restaurants and racism today, culturally appropriating. Let's get into the first one. This specific one coming from New Zealand, of all places, with Burger King and trying to eat chop. Explain this to us, Jason, because I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, unfortunately, people are now trying to take the position that somehow chopsticks are a race. And, with all the cultural appropriation out there, you can't just have a funny commercial. So this is what's caused all the outrage. And by the way, the takedown of this commercial, people absurdly trying to eat a Vietnam burger, apparently, with no Vietnamese people, with giant chopsticks, with novelty chopsticks. Now ludicrous commercials are not allowed to be ludicrous, and they mentioned that, they're going to take their burger all the way to Ho Chi Minh City. Maybe that was in slightly poor taste, I don't know, but again, seeing that chopsticks are used throughout the Asian culture, and they've made themselves all the way here to America where people enjoy them all the time, I feel like, Burger King really put their tail between their legs on this one. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, this is the Burger King in New Zealand, by the way.
Yeah.
And again, it's being deemed here as culturally insensitive. Again, chopsticks, they're a form of eating food. I don't understand how that's somehow a jab or insensitive to, mess around and have fun with your food. But Burger King deleted. They said that they were forced to delete this advertisement, which, again, I don't see this as inappropriate at all. Again, as you said, Jason, chopsticks are not a race. People are just being silly and stupid. I mean, look at the video. Can we play a little bit more of that video? It's stupid. It's take your taste buds all the way to Ho Chi Minh City, which is the city.
Is that
in Vietnam,
famous YouTuber?
with our Vietnamese sweet chili tender crisps. Part of our Taste of the World range, available for a limited time only. No, I don't. It is stupid to see them try to eat the food with the chopsticks, though.
Look at that girl. Doesn't she look like that famous YouTuber that they featured in? The
one that said she was depressed and then sold that depressing the therapy.
Yeah, it looks like that actually might be her, and that'd be even funnier because YouTube promotes her as kind of like this. She's a lesbian. There's a video of her coming out to a child. She's very progressive, and she's kind of promoted as this new millennial. If that's actually her, and I'm not saying it is, guys, that would have a new twist to the absurdity of giant chopsticks and the Ho Chi Minh City burger.
I highly doubt that. That's digressing, to say the least. And whatever she wants to do, let her do. But this is another story. This is story number 2 that is trending actually in New York right now on Twitter with the title, New York City Chinese Restaurant Draws Swift Backlash to Racist Language. The byline reads here, newly opened Lucky Lee's is facing backlash to racist language, like an Instagram post that claimed dishes like lo mein at Chinese American restaurants leave diners bloated and icky. Now, of course, there's been a huge backlash with this chain, which people are freaking out. I sent you this Instagram or Twitter tweet. people are freaking out because, again, this is an Asian American fusion restaurant, and it's owned by a white lady, and people are saying that she's racist. Her husband, her husband's last name is Lee. That's why the restaurant is called Lucky Lee, and people are freaking out, showing a lot of anger for what is allegedly racist language. What do you make of this, Jason? What do you think of some of the language that was used here and this now correlation that bloated and icky from eating Chinese food, assuming that is racist?
Yeah, no, there's nothing racist about this post. I think they're angry that a white woman owns a Chinese restaurant. Nothing new there in America either, guys, just so you know. You go to Albany, and it's not Italians making most of the pizza on Washington Street. Usually it's Middle Eastern guys. You know what? They're also selling fried chicken. Is that wrong? Does the Colonel have a lockdown on that? Should it only be Southern white men that are selling fried chicken? I don't understand all this. Okay, the idea that a specific food genre should then inherently only be sold by a certain culture or race seems pretty racist to me in the beginning.
Yes, Jason, great point. That before let me just cut you off to explain the bigger point here, because this owner says that she has many clients, and herself she has dietary restrictions that she says that she couldn't indulge in things like lo mein, fried rice, and of course people who developed gluten or wheat or can't handle redefined sugars or GMOs or additive and want additive-free versions of Chinese food that doesn't include some of those things. That's what she's making. She's trying to, quote, healthify some of the kind of Chinese dishes, and that's why she said some people feel bloated and icky from eating Chinese food. Of course, people who have allergies, who are gluten intolerant, who are yuppies and can't handle food, of course, do complain of that. She's guilty of being very generalized here. Generalizing, of course, is very vast here, but I don't see any kind of hatred towards another race in any of these posts, which, of course, she deleted and has since taken down. What do you think, Jason?
There's nothing slightly racial about any of these posts, and I'm just flabbergasted. Let me tell you, Luke, in my town, there's a place called Simply Thai, all right? Now, this is actually run by a Thai woman. Now, because it's only been around 6 or 7 years. For the 25 years before that, it was an all-American diner, which she also ran. Pancakes, eggs, hash browns, nothing Thai. No one complained. You know why? Not an issue. Not an issue that a Taiwanese woman wants to open up an American diner. No one at any point was like, cultural appropriation. I'm not concerned that now she runs a Thai place. I'm not concerned a white woman is running a Chinese place. And I'm not concerned that Burger King made a joke about a Ho Chi Minh burger with oversized chopsticks that is reminiscent of something out of the Three Stooges. It is so cartoonish.
Thank you, Jason. I 100% agree with you on that. There's war. There's famine. There's people not having enough food to live and survive. But here, we're so privileged. We're so lucky to debate if food or chopsticks are racist in the Western realm. Absolutely insane. But again, this is a perfect way just to insert asinine, ludicrous, bullcrap issues to try to, of course, make people fight off against each other. And I think this highlights the last story that we're going to cover here. And of course, this is in Chicago, where, of course, we have the prosecutor, Kim Foxx. She is known pretty much for getting Jussie Smollett off the hook for staging false hate crimes and also dividing a nation. She let him off without any punishment, without any severe ramifications for his actions, when there was plenty of evidence showing that he was very, very guilty, according to many people, according to the police departments, according to everyone else, except this prosecutor, who is now coming out and saying any criticism of this is racist. This is the headline here. Chicago prosecutor Kim Foxx suggests racism to explain criticism over Jussie Smollett. And Jason, this case was an international laughingstock because, again, it just showed time and time again how it was proven that Jussie Smollett was a bad actor, lied time and time again, and they incredulously got away with it to the unbelief of everyone watching or surrounding this case. What do you think of her saying now any kind of criticism against this is racist?
Just want to let everybody know, this was not, let me repeat, not her decision. Okay, notice that she's basically saying, you can't explain your actions, so racism. Racism, racism, racism. She's trying to save her job. Guys, she's very well connected to top-level Democrats, Barack Obama's wife. We've seen the pictures. I would go a little bit farther, but I don't think we need to. This woman did not make the decision. When the other prosecutor has to sit there in front of interviewers and say, so you think that he's innocent? No.
See that? Wait, hold on, Jason. I want to bring him up point here. CNN's like, well, he could be innocent, and then the next segment they play, literally, is the prosecutor saying, is he innocent? No, just straight up no. What's his name? The guy that Tucker Carlson calls a eunuch.
You're talking about Brian Stelter over at
Stetler,
CNN.
yeah, Stetler's on his show, like he could be innocent, and everyone's like, "What is wrong with you?" And then a couple, what was it, a couple hours later, CNN, no, he's not innocent. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Look who she's standing next to. All right, this woman is politically connected. She'll be standing next to Al Sharpton next. It's Jesse Jackson. This is all a deflection. That how dare you ask a question or question elitist motives, racism. So in a way, I almost feel bad for this woman because obviously, she's a social climber. She's somebody who's gone along to get along. And listen, she's being scapegoated. This was in no way was her absolute decision. She may have wanted to do it, but I promise you it was the powers that be that pushed her to do it behind the scenes. And now they've said, instead of explaining your actions, how we forced you to do this and said this is the way it's going to be, racism. So I think we're 0 for 3 today on Is That Racist, Luke? Am I correct on that?
I mean, I think these are important to bring up because there are legitimate cases of racism. But when you just use it and throw it around to show disdain towards a restaurant you may not like, a corporate chain you may not like, a political decision that you may not like, you're doing a huge disservice. And what this prosecutor is doing, I mean, she was also a part of a press conference where there was other speakers talking about this specific case. There was one speaker talking about the Ku Klux Klan, specifically talking about the Chicago Police Department, which, by the way, the superintendent is also an African American. Again, just total delusion. And again, Jason, there was a story that you pitched that we didn't talk about there, I think it was last week, where there was an incident where a police officer was racist. All right, those things, when those actions happen, they need to be called out and talked about. You want to talk about a little bit of that, Jason? Because I believe that this is creating a huge disservice against the actual racism that does happen, that does need to be addressed in a way, and it's not because of this kind of weaponized version of it.
Sure. The story that you were talking about is an officer that actually got promoted after making just the most bigoted post I think that you possibly could on social media. Basically, it was a meme where I believe it was a mother was, it looked like she was drowning her daughter in the bath, had her face down, and the caption was, when your daughter brings home a black man as her first boyfriend or something like that. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing the whole thing. But again, instead of being reprimanded, he was promoted, I believe, to chief of police. I believe it was in Louisiana. Again, don't quote me on this. I don't have it in front of me. But that, to me, hey, that guy is a racist. I think he showed his true colors. He's also in law enforcement, and he's also being promoted. That's a problem. That's not Jason Burmis white knighting or being a social justice warrior or trying to play race politics. That's saying, hey, this man is obviously a bigot if he would post something like this, and he wants his daughter not to date a specific type of person with a specific content of character. No. He has to be a certain color. His skin color matters. Well, Luke, that just doesn't matter to me, and it shows his true colors on the inside. But again, those stories exist. And this one, look, lady, no one's questioning you because of the color of your skin. They're questioning you because this guy hoaxed a major attack that caused an uproar in this country and literally over $130,000 to the Chicago Police Department. Let's not even talk about the resources. That's just the money.
Yeah, which again, he may be recharged, which is also another important update in the Jesse Smollett case, or be separately personally charged just for those finances that, of course, were allocated to investigate the alleged hate crimes. That, of course, it was proven with the phone records, with the checks, with the everything just aligned with the brothers, Nigerian brothers, who have been thrown underneath the bus and pretty much blamed for everything here. That's the bigger story here. Jesse Smollett screwed over two Nigerians, and ultimately just dispelled of them and put all the responsibility and blame on them. When, of course, all the evidence points to the contrary of that. I think we should just give the definition of what racist actually means, since people don't actually understand it. And racist is a noun. It is, quote, a person who shows or feels discrimination or prejudice against people of other races, or who believes that a particular race is superior to another. That's what a racist is. It's not good to be racist, and it's important to call it real racism and not to destroy this whole dialogue by using it as a political weapon or as a jail out of free card to, of course, take away any responsibility from you messing up royally and facing any kind of scrutiny for your actions. That's not what it should be for. So on that end, Jason, can we play the intro song again as we close this out here? And anything else you want to say?
Nothing else I wanted to say, Luke.
All right, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed the first edition of Is That Racist with Luke Radowski and Jason Berger, CEO of WeAreChange.org. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for more, as of course we're going to have more and more videos coming here your way on YouTube. 4 videos a day. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more.